The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
Let's go, baby!
Are you ready for a break?
Yes.
Are you ready for a break?
Absolutely.
Ready for a break?
Yeah, and so much for that.
It's time for The Break on DallasCowboys.com
We were on a break!
with Ambar Garcia, Bryan Broaddus, Voch Lombardi, and Derek Eagleton.
It is Tuesday, October 28th, 2025, Season 21, Episode number 67. Welcome to the latest edition of The Break. We are live from the SWBC Mortgage Studios at the Star. We are presented by LG. LG is the world's #1 OLED TV brand for 11 years and counting. See why at LG.com/OLED Evo.
Chris, I told you Derek is too old to know the trend.
6'7"? What are you doing?
Ambar, let me just keep it a buck
What are we
with
talking
you.
about?
Voch is too old to know what the hell 6'7" is. And I ain't got kids, so I don't know. Nobody's taught the 33-year-old what 6'7" means.
You know, that's actually around the age where you start losing touch. Like, because you don't care no more. Like, you don't care about impressing the young kids.
now, isn't it?
Who cares? Who cares? Like, that's about the age where I started being like, I
enjoyed
don't care about what y'all talking about. Y'all it's stupid.
It's crazy. When I was in high school, the best rapper in the world was Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne was ridiculous.
You in high school?
When I was in high school, yeah. Middle school, really. But Wayne was hot for a long time. My dad had no clue Wayne was hot. And I was like, man, how do you not know that Lil Wayne is hot? NBA Youngboy's a guy now. I know who he is. Can't name not one song from him. Don't know who that is.
Right.
Bad Bunny, don't know one Bad Bunny song.
Yep.
Can't sing it.
You start seeing them in places, people are like, oh, that's whoever, and you're like, really?
Who that is? Oh, the NFL love of a famous YouTube content creator, TikTok character. Who is that?
Yeah.
What they do for, what they sing? I don't know.
Hey, man. I don't.
What's 6'7"?
You gotta keep up.
What's 6'7"?
6'7".
It's something that we can't
Are
say.
you in Group 7?
I don't know.
Then no. You only know if you're in. Only Group 7 people know if they're in Group 7.
This sounds like something we can't say on TV.
Right, it does.
It sounds like something we can't say.
Sorry, y'all.
Brian, where are you on this?
Man,
What's inside Brian's mind about 6'7"? What that
I just got some questions. We got some football.
Right. Back to football.
Got some football.
Change the programming right back to football.
I got some football questions.
Let's stay focused.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so here's what I want to do today. We got
a defense that gives up 6-7 yards a carry.
There you go. Full circle.
We are
ask
going to
the
get
chat.
to.
Go
We are going to dive inside the brain of Bryan Broaddus in the second segment, and in the third segment today, we're going to try to hear from you guys. We're going to take some.
Oh,
phone
no
calls
way.
and some-
No way.
some messages.
Ambar, you are such a
No
trendsetter.
way. Thank
You are
you.
such a trendsetter.
Thank
You want to know what it is? You want to know what it is?
What is it?
No, don't.
I didn't get a chance to do the rundown last night.
all right.
So this morning I was like, well, what can we
Hey.
do in the third segment? Questions. Let's take questions.
It don't matter the reason.
And by the way, next week, when we on a bye, and the week after that, coming
take
off
some-
a bye,
we're gonna take some
We're
more.
going to take a lot of
ain't got
questions.
nothing
So,
to talk about?
so get ready. Get ready with your questions because we're going to be listening to y'all talk more than we're going to be talking over the
Something
next
else.
2 weeks. So
That's
just
our damn
know that's how we
Thank
do
you. Next up on my list, the TVs. We got to make sure this happens before the season
Amber, we
ends.
never get them
There are
damn
TVs
Christmas
right there. There are two
time.
TVs right
Christmas time.
Christmas what?
Yeah, for Christmas.
Chris did what? Chris Bean?
Christmas.
Christmas time. Oh, Christmas time.
I'll take a TV. I think he was getting on either way you can.
there. We are.
I thought you said Chris.
And she's getting frustrated with us like, you know what I'm talking
Feliz
about.
Navidad.
Wait till we get to the break. She got
Well,
something for you in the break.
I won't get too cocky.
It's fine.
All right, here's what we're going to do.
Derek Starling, we ain't gonna talk about y'all.
Look, time is just ticking.
Come on, host.
Time is just okay, no. First segment today, I did want to talk about.
Injuries. BB coming back this week, Brian?
No.
What did it look? Huh?
That's not what I want to talk about.
Oh, don't worry about
I
it.
actually want to talk about linebacker. I want to talk about linebacker because the owner and general manager brought up linebacker this morning. I thought it was very interesting the way that he called them out. This is what he said. He says, we need to basically have better play from the linebackers, maintaining the integrity of our gaps, which the linebackers have to fill, the linebackers have to slide. So they did a good job against us, talking about Denver, and we did a poor job. That being said, how significant do you think it is that Jerry spoke specifically about a position, which he doesn't tend to do a lot? He doesn't tend to call out specific players or positions even necessarily, especially when he's giving a critique. How significant do you think that is?
Man, I don't want to come on his radio station and all this. He's paid for all these microphones and things like that, and say that he's a couple weeks late on that. But boy, Mr. Jones,
You're a couple weeks
A
late.
little late on that one there, Pop.
Hey, we've been talking about it on the break for a minute. So if you want to look at it indirectly,
He
like
don't listen to us is what that means.
yeah, he don't.
Yeah.
listen to
But
what we're
he
saying.
has the people that he pays talking about it.
For sure.
Yeah, so it's been addressed.
Yeah.
He just didn't address it till today. But
Gap
yeah.
integrity, y'all. That's the name of the game. When your run defense looked decent, your gap integrity was it was solid. When your run defense is horrific, 9 times out of 10, it's somebody playing hero ball and not team ball, and the gap integrity is not always there. What we've saw plenty times, me and Bryan broke down a little bit of film on it. I showed twice, it happened like 7, is sometimes your end doesn't stay outside. And what happens is if your end don't stay outside, then running back goes outside. If you're a linebacker and you don't feel your B gap, 9 times out of 10, somebody going to go right where you left off at. Most of these offensive run systems are based on the running back's eyes, what they see in them finding grass. So not only if you didn't hit your gap, but if you far missed your gap, I think it's something on film also. I can't prove this because I ain't got Sean Payton's number. Bryan do. And I'll let you know whenever he texts us back. I think that they're seeing on film that our edges get caught inside too much, and that makes the linebackers get caught inside too much. So what'll happen is these teams will confidently crack your linebacker with a wide receiver, and they'll just put your tight end one-on-one with your edge guy and just pin everything to the inside. And that happens a whole bunch. I wonder if that's something that these past few coaches have saw from you. But Jerry ain't wrong. Jerry and his people that's feeding him analytics and information, he's absolutely right.
Let me ask you this question real quick on that before you go, Bryan. No. When you talk about the defensive ends getting caught inside, and I brought this up yesterday, and I can't quite figure out which I think it is. It's happening a lot. As you said, you see it on film a ton, particularly with Sam, where he crashes down hard and takes that inside gap. It makes me wonder, is he being coached, and is it his responsibility to take that inside gap? Yeah. In which case, really, it's not him that's the problem. The problem is the linebacker, again, is not scraping and getting to that outside gap where that is his responsibility. Which do you think it is?
It's called a run blitz. And what it is, and Sam, and we've talked about this before. If we remember when Tank Lawrence, remember how instinctual Tank would be? It would be 3rd and 3, and you're playing the Seahawks, and all of a sudden he's reading formation, and he sees wing to his side, and he's thinking like, okay, they're coming this way. I'm going to go hard inside charge and see if I can make a play. I think Sam is doing it because Sam is told that, hey, we're going to run blitz this particular play. And when you go down, and like Voch was talking about, and I thought very well, the where the fills come in, where it's an A gap charge, it's a B gap fill, it's a C gap fill. And there's been times where we've seen, and again, Voch and I broke it down this morning, where you do see hard inside charge, and then you don't see Murray get over the top, or you don't see James get over the top. So the design is the whole idea is to replace all the gaps. So if you have a guy playing C gap going to A gap, now you got to replace the B gap and the C gap all in defense to make it a solid front. Dallas hadn't been able to get that. They've had, unfortunately, they've had plays where all of a sudden a guy, say like an outstanding run defender like Kenny Clark, is on the ground. He's on the ground. Now a guard's up on the linebacker, so the linebacker can't get over to make a fill. So now you have an inside charge, no fill, and then the other fill is too wide, having to take 2 gaps. We saw that with the situation with Elam. Elam is in the play, but he's too wide to make the play. The ball goes up inside of him. So it's to answer your question, it's Sam being told to play, but they're getting hurt when it comes to the execution of actually where everybody needs to fit to make the run be defended.
Also, too, is ways you can actually tell. The very first play of the game, Marshawn Nealon, when you saw him, he didn't immediately go inside. Like, he was outside a little bit, and tight end took him inside. Yeah. Like that's one way to tell.
Yeah.
And then there's another way to tell. Coaches will tell you to cheat a little bit. Like, if it's your job to get the B gap, then you can kind of pre-snap just cheat to B gap to just make it easy for you to get there. It happened to Dante Fowler. This ain't me called him out. It just kind of happened a little bit. Dante Fowler started off real wide. I'm like, man, why would you start so wide if it's your job to be in B gap? Right. Turned out it wasn't his job to be in B gap. I think he felt something, and he felt the run go away, so he crashed real hard, and the running back went right off of him, and it was a one-on-one with Elam. And Elam wasn't expecting to be the only one on the island with the running back, and bad things happened after that.
To your question about, is this unusual or this is unusual for Jerry to single out a specific position group. I did find it interesting. One, I'm okay with him doing that. That's totally fine. We've been talking about the linebacker position. I like the accountability. I like that, okay, they're seeing what we're seeing, not that they're not, but it's always better to hear it, that they are also kind of on the same page. But I did find it interesting because after the game, Brian Schottenheimer, one of the things that he emphasized was the culture of the team. And he's like, okay, when you have adversity, that's good. It's good. It's what you do with it, though. It's either going to make your team or break it. It's how you respond to it. And he said something about the culture that he's building on the team is that right now, there wouldn't be anyone that starts finger pointing and saying, hey, this person did that or that person did that. And that's something that he was very proud of voicing and being, that's when kind of everything can start to go downhill when you start singling out people. And the fact that then Jerry makes that comment, I just thought it was kind of, it's a contrast there. So I did find it kind of interested in that sense.
I think when you've listened to, and this is one of the advantages that I do have of working with 105.3, is that we have the opportunity to talk to Jerry Jones and to Brian Schottenheimer and to Stephen Jones. I think this week from all three of those gentlemen has been a different tone. There has been a different tone. It's not the, well, hey, we're okay and we just got to execute better and we've got to. No, this week was I think it was a real slap in the face, pardon the expression, of reality of what this football team probably is. And the tone of Jerry Jones now saying linebacker play has to be better. And, he could have very easily said our defensive line play has to be better. Our secondary has to be better. But when you look at overall some of the things that they've struggled with in the running game, it has been the linebackers. I think he gave you a very honest answer. But I think overall the tone of your coach and your executives has really changed. That game was very eye-opening. And Stephen Jones is right. 3-4-1 is not going to get you into the playoffs. I mean, that is just not. And, usually it's like, oh, we just need to play better. We'll worry about no. And, put our heads in the sand kind of thing. I didn't detect that the last couple of days when listening to them talk. I sense there is a sense of it is not good enough, and we damn need to do something about it right now. Yeah,
it's interesting, Brian. Even though it's starting on Sunday, I think we heard a different tone from Coach Schotty after the game. It didn't feel like what you typically hear from coaches that we've heard over the years.
We'll get on the practice field and we'll.
We got to correct our mistakes. But we'll be better. It wasn't that. It was, hey, this ain't good enough.
Yeah,
we got to fix it, and there will be changes. And my question becomes like, I know he said, there will be changes and kind of alluded to after the bye. But my question is, like, what kind of changes could even be made that really at this point would give you faith that the defense can be better? I mean, I know you're going to get some players back, but as I said yesterday, I don't trust.
That's a question I have for you today.
Okay, good. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a break. And we're going to come back and we'll dive inside the brain of Brian
Broaddus.
Broaddus.
It's more than fine taking it to break right now.
We will do that.
Follow that can.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be back. DallasCowboys.com radio.
How's it going? You see that Cowboys game?
Oh, I watched. Been seeing some good things.
Totally. They have some talent.
Yup, some great talent.
And they got some fight.
Hoping this is the year.
Me too. Oh, I'm Cody, by the way.
I'm Travis.
Nice to meet you, Travis. Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys!
Make a new friend based solely on their shirt choice. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Copyright 2025 Bank of America Corporation.
If you shout, "How about them Cowboys?" you have that undeniable passion that's the heart of Cowboys Nation. And if you like to drink Dr. Pepper, you love the unique blend of its 23 flavors. Together, your one-of-a-kind fandom paired with the one-of-a-kind taste of a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper is the game day lineup that can't be beat. Better yet, gather your Cowboys and Dr. Pepper fan friends to watch the next game and crack open a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper for everyone. The wins will be even tastier. It's a pepper thing.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
I'm home.
Hey, Mom, before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice. Hey, can you...
Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Wow.
Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's a network interruption, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service, guaranteed. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or for wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
Back to the break.
Choose perfection. Choose LG OLED Evo. Check out the best TV in the game at LG.com.
That's why I'm here, Bryan, because I need some more money. You feel me? I need Derek.
Hey,
let me just
I need
tell
both
you
of y'all to pull
well,
some
well, let me
strings
just
for
tell
me.
you. If you need more money, it ain't the time to have kids. They gonna drain you. They will drain you. Sunday, I was at the game working. Amber saw my phone ring. It's my daughter.
Yeah.
And she says, I was just talking to Mom, and she said you probably had a few minutes, so I figured I wanted to call you to ask for money. And her mom had literally said, I'm on the phone with you. We have joint accounts. You can ask me. And she was like, no, I need to call Dad to ask for money.
That's real, though.
That
That's
is
real.
very real. And actually, I like it that way. I need her to know.
There's
There's no man out there that can take care of you better than your daddy.
There it is.
You know?
We're going to talk about that.
I'm just saying.
We can't, but we're going to talk about that.
These are parenting advices for you brothers out there dealing with little girls. Anyway,
need all the wisdom.
Hey, let's jump in to the brain of Bryan. Actually, this segment's brought to you by blockchain.com.
Man, I was just finna hit you, boy. Bing.
You were not. You forgot all about it too.
You did.
All right, Bryan. Let's go inside the brain of Bryan Broaddus. What you got, Bryan?
What's up, y'all?
Hey, Voch, do you feel like did Stephen Jones regret saying that the defense was fixed when they made the trade for Micah? The run defense was fixed.
Man, they all regretting that stuff, boy.
Did he say that verbatim?
Of course he said it just like that, boy. I bet they watch Packers games and they just got to shake their head and just imagine and play a good old game of what if he was
Where did they get
here.
it wrong then? Where did they get it wrong?
Where did they get it wrong? I think they got it wrong thinking that Kenny Clark was like the one piece that was gonna, fix it. Like in that kind of way. And Bryan, what we've learned is that this defense is so bad as a whole. Even if your run defense is solid, then teams still find a way to throw the ball against you. Sure. If you do deal with the pass, well, then we're just running around and we'll just do it like that, Bryan. I think this now where they still have a little hope. Steven maybe spoke a little early. Shouts out to brother Steve, me and him cool. I think where they may have spoke a little too soon. The run defense may not be better this year.
You crack?
Because a little bit. The run defense, pardon me. This True Blue. The run defense may not be good this year. Yeah. But after they trade or they draft some kids or whatever and come up in here, then they'll be like, well, I never told y'all that the run was going to be good this year. But the run's good next year with Kenny Clark and draft picks or Kenny Clark and some miscellaneous cat that we can go trade for to come help the run defense.
How about you, Amber? Does Stephen Jones, you think he regrets saying that he felt that the run defense was fixed when they made that trade?
It did improve for a little bit. We saw a little bit of improvement there, but
Saquon,
I think that regardless of the trade, and I'm gonna go further beyond just the run defense, I think the defense would be exactly what it is right now. Maybe not exactly the same, obviously, if you have a pass rusher, but at the same time, I truly feel you would be getting similar results as to what you are having right now. And I hate criticizing coaches and certain players because you develop a certain type of relationship, so it makes it difficult for you to come on here, get on a mic, and then start talking about their job and how bad they're doing and this and that. So I hate that, but at the same time, I think it goes beyond the player's ability. We keep talking, yes, it is a combination there, but it comes back to coaching and what is currently happening with the defensive coordinator. And I don't want to say, oh, pack your bags and leave.
They don't know me. I'll say it. Hey, man, if you don't figure something out, it's happening fast, brother.
It's just unfortunate that it's gotten to this point of the season so far along to where you haven't actually seen true improvement or some sense of hope. We saw it. What was it? Who did we play? Was it the Panthers 2 weeks ago? No, Washington. Washington.
Yeah.
We saw there, and there was a little bit of hope that you started feeling, but you knew you had to see it happen back-to-back weeks and have some kind of consistency there. But not enough has happened to where you think, yeah, that trade made any difference.
Derek,
go
ahead.
How much better does this defense have to be, and how fast before we start to feel better about Flus?
2 more stops a game.
2 more stops a game?
2 more stops a game.
Like, is that enough to make you go, all right, Flus, next year we're going to run it back?
I'm just, to me, that's why I think I'm still really gung-ho about making a trade, because I'm interested in finding a way. Give this offense 2 more possessions a game.
Sure.
Give them 2 more possessions a game and see what happens. I think you'll be out of harm's way a lot more. Now teams are chasing, but teams have thrown the ball well against you too. But I would rather them try and maybe you can. We've seen them get pressure. We just haven't seen them get the sacks. But I'm thinking 2 more stops a game, handing the ball back to your offense. It worked in the Commanders game. They got plenty of stops in the Commanders game. And what did Dallas do? They took advantage. The offense took advantage of that. Put up a lot of points. That's all I'm asking, man. If you give me 2 more good stops a game, I could be okay with what this team's doing.
Yeah, I look at it, I'm a little bit disheartened by what I've seen from the defense, from the standpoint that they're giving up chunk plays in the run game and the pass game, and against poor competition. That's the part that really bothers me. And it's really, honestly, there's only been one team that didn't gash them like that, and they had some moments too, and that was Washington. Yeah. And so you basically, the only team that hasn't gashed you to that level
had no players.
Yeah, they were down their top 3 wide receivers. And so I look at it and I'm like, I've gotten to a point now, I'm not sure that you go out and get me that stud player that we've been talking so much about on this show.
Sure.
I don't know that it's going to change a ton, because I would say right now,
could change
going back
the years, the next years.
Yes. And by the way,
if you get the right
back
one.
back to your original question, I think Kenny Clark may be more valuable to you if you get more players in this defense.
Sure.
I just think right now, there are so many problems, and a lot of the problems I've been saying forever, I still believe it, reside with the linebacker position. Sure. And because the linebackers are not being – that will expose so much about your defense, because they have responsibilities in the run game and the pass game. And them being out of position can affect both in some very profound ways. We've seen plays downfield. We've seen plays downfield this year where linebacker was out of position and play ends up behind them, and it's touchdown. So I think right now the biggest challenge is the linebackers, but I think there's so many issues right now going on. I'm not sure that one player solves it. And so for me, that's where you do have to say, okay, coaches, y'all got to figure out a plan with this group of players, because all the players can't be bad. Yeah. You got to figure out a plan now to use the skills of the players that you have in order to make this defense decent and workable.
I think even if Michael was here, things would look weird on defense.
Yeah, that's my point.
Yeah.
That's my point. Because guess what? He would be crashing down just like Sam Williams doing, and that linebacker still wouldn't be feeling, and you still have that 40-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
Ambar.
Mike could be playing corner or something.
Coach Schottenheimer addressed changes with the lineup. Give me one you'd like to make.
Wait, say it again?
Coach Schottenheimer addressed changes with the lineup. Give me one you'd like to make.
Can I get them boys credit while she's thinking? Sam and Fowler got less reps this week.
Okay.
I thought that was important. Shouts out to them. It ain't helped nothing, but I did notice that they had less reps, and Clowney and Nealon got more. Still got to figure it out a little bit, but that's a change. So shouts out to them for doing that.
All right.
Offense or defense, Amber? You can make it.
Yeah, I was.
Well, there are 2 things. No, it's because I don't want to say it. I don't want to say.
Say it.
Write it down and I'll say it.
No.
Sign it.
I don't do locker room.
It just goes back to the previous question and what I was saying. Like, I don't like
the linebacker
talking. No.
Oh, okay.
I don't like talking about people's jobs, but if there was a change to be made, there would be two. One, I'll make the trade.
She's like, I don't want to say it, but I got two.
I got two.
More than what you asked for. You dose.
One is a trade.
Okay.
I'm making a trade happen. I don't care what you guys say about the picks and next year and all that. I want someone that has the experience already. I don't have time to develop players. I need one that has the experience to come in here and stay for here next year, okay?
Will McClay like a word with you, please?
No. I've seen it happen already, okay? Enough is enough.
Yeah.
And then the other one, I would change a voice. I would change a voice.
That's a polite way to say it, boy.
Because I want to hear some other different type of inspiration, some other different type of ideas. Let's brainstorm in there. Just hear it from somebody else. And that's all I would say on that point.
All right.
That's classy as hell.
Yeah.
Ambar, that's a great way to say fire the damn defense coordinator. That's a fantastic
I don't need
way.
you to translate.
Boy,
I don't need you to reword what I was saying.
I need a new voice. Boy, that's fantastic. Go ahead, Brian. I'm sorry.
Derek, who do you got? You make a change?
I think I'm changing the right tackle.
Okay.
I think I've seen enough there. I think Nate Thomas. I think
I
Nate
said
Thomas
both.
might be able to give me a little bit better production consistently. Because I will say this. I thought at least, and maybe it may take a little while for them to get back to it, the right side of the offensive line earlier in the year, I felt like was giving you a really good push in the run game.
They were.
This last game, that wasn't happening. And maybe it was the opponent. Maybe it was going to take a while for Booker and him to get back on the same page. But I just feel like that was the part of Steele's game that I actually was appreciating, was he was giving me something in the run game. If this last game is an indication of where we're going to be, then I would say let's get Nate out there, and maybe you can get a little bit more out of one or the other. But right now, I just feel like that's the weakest link, in my opinion, on the offensive line right now.
Brian,
outside of getting your center back. When you get your center back, I think that'll shore that up a little bit more.
Brian, I think we should find a new green dot guy. I think we should find a new green dot guy. And if the biggest problem is communication, then you can kind of go to the nucleus of the defense, I would say, which is our green dot guy. I'm just, hey, man, as nice as I can say it, man, he had a fantastic Washington game. He had a fantastic Giants game. But if you've had more, if you had like a great game and maybe like a cool to average or a bad game, I think there's I can hang around and I can hang with you. I can defend you publicly. But if you have like a fantastic game and the worst game I've ever seen and another worst game I've ever seen, then maybe there needs to be changes at green dot guy. What we often see is they'll rotate linebackers out, but they'll rotate the opposite guys, but they'll keep green dot guy in there. I'm trying to be nice like Ambar, but they'll keep green dot guy.
I'm in my head right now. I'm like, why did I say anything?
You ain't say nothing. I said it. I think this team could benefit. I think Maris Leofau would be a fantastic green dot guy. He may not be the best linebacker that you have right now, but he is smart. And if your biggest problem is communication, as long as you run in the right direction, you may overrun it.
Yeah.
But as long as you run in the right direction and you can at least get everybody else on the same page and maybe call some things out, I think that'll be a little bit of a benefit.
Can I say something real quick? And this is to the point that you were making, Amber. I would say even a better way to look at that is before you would say, because I don't love the idea of changing the actual person in season. I don't think good things typically come from that. What I would say might be a better option is if I were the head coach, maybe I would go to him and I would say, look, man, I'm not saying the scheme don't work. I'm saying the scheme isn't working with this set of players. What I need you to do in the bye week is I need you to come up with a set of plays, and maybe it's not a different scheme, but I need you to figure out the plays in that scheme that best fit these players. Yeah. If you keep asking this defensive end to crash down and you want your linebackers to scrape hard to the outside and they're not doing it effectively, do something different. Let the defensive end stay outside and have outside contain versus having him crash down. Maybe that's a better way to do it. I would just say, don't change the person. Say, I need you to flip. We've tried it for 9 weeks at that point. If it ain't working, it ain't working. It's time to say it ain't working. Try something different. That's where I would be making the big changes.
That's
is
what I was trying to
change
say.
change the
Exactly
script.
that.
Like whatever you're doing is not working. You need to flip the script and do something very different that these players actually can execute, because right now you're not going to get new linebackers. Overshown's coming back, but you're not going to change all the linebackers. So you may want to ask them to do something different, because what you're asking them, they're just not capable of doing, man.
This is the sad part. Coach going to look at you and be like, Coach, I don't have plays that ask the ends to crash. They supposed to be outside. They just crash anyway.
Well, I will tell you this. If that's the case, because that was my dilemma earlier in the week when I was seeing that. As you said, like 7-8 plays, the same thing was happening.
Yeah.
If you got a player that on 7 or 8 plays is doing something that you've told him specifically, don't do this.
Yeah.
Why is he still playing? And that's what makes me think this is not him just freelancing.
Sure.
If he's doing it, and by the way, this isn't the first game. We've seen this throughout the year, because I remember mentioning it to Nick this last game as we were sitting in the press box. I was like, have you noticed every time they're getting gashed, like Sam's crashing hard to the inside? I'm like, he cannot be doing this over all these weeks just on his own, and nobody has said, Sam, if you continue to do this, you won't be playing.
Sam got mad on the internet, but we ain't going to tell no lies about you, brother. If you get cracked, the technique is to cross face. Because if they cracking you, they run on the other side of that crack. Ain't nothing wrong with getting cracked, because sometimes you don't see the crack. Donovan Ezeraku does it real well. If you crack him, he'll instantly cross face and he'll get back in the fight. You can't get cracked all the way to the other C gap. I ain't made up no lies about nobody. I could do a film session. Me and Ambar win an Emmy on it. I ain't lying about nobody. It's the small technical things. You can't run around with your eyes closed. You got to find the ball carrier. Sometimes it look like your edge rush are running around with their eyes closed, or run down the middle of people with their eyes closed. You can't win like that.
Here's my last hot take. I know we got to go to break, though. But
trust me, Derek ain't got nothing for this third one. Go ahead.
You got time.
This is
knock yourself out.
Everything that everybody's saying is absolutely true, but there's a bigger fundamental problem.
What's that?
It's the interview process of hiring your coaches is really what.
Oh, for sure.
And I say this in this way. And it's unfortunate the last 3 years you've had 3 different coordinators. We've talked about that. We've talked about the style of players you have, the players that are currently on the roster and stuff. But if you have a team that is really good in one specific area or is built in one specific area, and you feel like, listen, we can't completely overhaul the team just for this coach. It's about the hiring of the coach.
That's right.
It's about the process of knowing when you're going to hire. Yeah, they have familiarity. The front office, they have familiarity with Matt Eberflus. Matt Eberflus is a good coordinator. He has been in the past. The problem is, though, if you have a team that's been built a certain way, and then you try to say, okay, we're going to bring this guy in because we have some familiarity with him. And this is what's unfortunate about with Shoddy as a first-year head coach. You know, maybe he had an idea of who he wanted to bring in offensively, but maybe he didn't have an idea what he wanted to do defensively. And maybe he didn't have enough time to really think about it. But
Clayton Adams was one of the hottest hires in the whole league.
When you start to think about, like, okay, well, we have familiarity with Matt Eberflus as a coach. Well, what's his scheme? What does he like to do? How does he like to play? Well, let's look at the next thing. Is our team built in a way currently to play that type of scheme?
Were the Bears good on defense?
I think that you have to. It's really it's bigger than that. It's bigger than guys coming down and linebackers scraping and all that. You have a team that was built a certain way for certain coaches. It's not built for this current coordinator to be that way. And that's why when Derek has to ask the head coach to walk in there and say, hey, come up with 3 things. Come up with 3 things. The coordinator will look at him and say, like, hey, I've been doing this a long time. You know, if we had players that could do this, that's the biggest disconnect to me. That if you want to talk about Dallas Cowboys defensive football issues, it's you have players that don't fit what this coordinator.
Well, does that fall under the inexperience of, like, again, remembering this is first year 1?
He's had a lot of injuries though too. They've had a lot of injuries, but you have a team that, you know, you had a team that was built with, you got Dan Quinn players, you got Mike Zimmer players, you've got players, and now you've got a scheme in because you went and hired a coach. I think because you had a first-year head coach. You had a guy that probably didn't have a whole lot of time putting together a staff. And so to me, that's the number one fundamental issue right now. You have players that are built to play a different way. And until you get players that play, but then again, what are we going to do? oh, we're all getting mad at the coordinator, and rightfully so. Okay, now we get rid of the coordinator. Okay, now that's the fourth coordinator that we're going to have. And do we have players that are built for how is his scheme? See, this is where the attention to detail when it comes to hiring coaches is so important. Because you look at teams like the Ravens and others that when they lose a coach, they have the next one ready that knows the scheme and knows how to play the scheme and knows the players. They have somebody ready to go. You don't have that luxury here right now, and I think you're paying for it.
All right, we're going to take our final break. When we come back, we'll get some questions from you guys. Let's see what you guys got out there to say. You can also call us 1-888-855-2297. Again, it's 888-855-2297. We'll be back. DallasCowboys.com radio.
I'm home.
Hey, Mom, before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice. Hey, can you...
Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Wow.
Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's a network interruption, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service, guaranteed. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or for wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
If you can't be at the stadium, there's no better way to watch your Cowboys than on an LG OLED Evo TV. That's because everything you see is more lifelike. Every play, every hit. I mean, you might as well be on the sidelines. That's how clear it is. It's all thanks to LG's legendary technology. Perfect black, over 8.3 million self-lit pixels. No one comes close. LG OLED Evo is the best TV in the game for a reason. See for yourself at lg.com/OLED Evo.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
How's it going? You see that Cowboys game?
Oh, I watched. Been seeing some good things.
Totally. They have some talent.
Yup, some great talent.
And they got some fight.
Hoping this is the year.
Me too. Oh, I'm Cody, by the way.
I'm Travis.
Nice to meet you, Travis. Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys!
Make a new friend based solely on their shirt choice. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Copyright 2025 Bank of America Corporation.
From the field to the festivities, Lucchese embodies the essence of luxury and tradition. Handcrafted with meticulous precision, each pair offers unmatched comfort and style. Stand tall while you're tailgating or cheering in the stands with the Dallas Cowboys collection by Lucchese. Shop the collection today at the Lucchese store at the Star in Frisco or online at lucchese.com. Lucchese, the official boot of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
Back to the break.
AT&T, connecting changes everything.
Welcome back. It is the final segment of the break live from the SWBC Mortgage Studios at the Star. We're going to take some phone calls here in the final segment. We got a call from Bryan out in Kansas City. Bryan, what up?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up, big dog?
Hey, so my question is really from a pro scouting point of view, and I'm not against moving Leofau to be green dot guy, but from the outside, is it realistic in the middle of the season to bring in a Mike linebacker, give him the green dot, and say, hey, Tiger, go get him? You know, I'm just curious, and I'm not talking about the oddball guy like a Luke Kinkley or a Sean Lee. We know that you give that guy 2 weeks, he'll have the whole defense figured out and be teaching everybody else. But from a pro scouting point of view, is it realistic for most people to bring him in mid-season, or is edge defender, are we kind of boxed into edge defenders kind of the only thing you can do at this point in the season? And I'll hang up and listen. Thank you.
Fantastic question, man. I think that's something that you have to think about. Like, these Mike linebackers are really as good as they know what's happening. But boy, this is the rare situation of the Cowboys that you have yourself in. It's just like the linebackers you have right now, just all over the place. So if you have a linebacker that he may not know everything about this system, but he's simply just not all over the place, and maybe he can just read keys a little bit better. You're just trying to get a little better. And lucky for us, it's still October now. Then maybe he'll know the system by November, December, when you're really trying to make this run.
Yeah, I think there's certain linebackers, and I know it probably is not against. We saw what Roquan Smith did when they traded him from the Bears, and I know Roquan Smith is a rare player that way. But I think there's some linebackers that you could absolutely bring in here, and they can make a difference right off the jump. I know we can't really talk about names because they're still on, but there's a couple that I've looked at that I know that if you traded something for them and brought them in, I think you can immediately plug them in, and they're not named Roquan Smith or anything like that.
Plus, cover 3 at the Dallas Cowboys is just like cover 3 at Natchez High School.
Want to expound on that?
Cover 3 is basically 2 dudes in the flat and 3 dudes deep. However you decide to work that out, it could be 2 corners and 1 free deep. It could be a free and a strong and a corner deep. As long as it's that configuration, you got it. And 2 guys in the flats. You got to have that.
Good stuff. Let's get a call from Carmine in New Jersey.
Big dog. What's up?
Hey, how you doing? I have a quick question, but I got to tell a story real fast for 3 seconds.
We only got 2 seconds. Go ahead.
All right, go.
All right. So, Voch, this is out for you. I'm actually in New Jersey, and I just wanted to let you know, in my meetings, when we have a meeting, I start out by saying, man.
Hell, talking about my boy. Hold it
yes,
down.
sir. So just for the note of it, the whole New Jersey says man now.
That's hard, man. Shouts out to you, brother. What you got for us?
Yes, sir. All right. My question is, Bryan, you just said a couple seconds ago about the player personnel, which I agree. But don't you think a good coach would adapt to the coaching style of the players?
Well, I think that's what I'm saying. These coaches are a lot of them. I know Mike Zimmer, Bill Parcells allowed him to coach this 4-3 defense for Bill's first year. But he told Mike, he goes, if you're still going to stay around, you're going to have to learn how to coach a 3-4. And Mike did, to Mike's credit. And Mike learned that way. But I think a lot of it has to do when you're a brand new coach on a staff. Now, Matt's been around a long time, and Matt has his ways of coaching. I think there's things, you have to absolutely adapt. But this to me seems like they haven't adapted well enough. And if there's not a willingness to do that, then Matt was the wrong hire. That you have to have that willingness to be able to adapt. But to me, this just goes back to 3 coordinators in 3 years. I think you're asking a lot of the coordinator. I think you're asking a lot of the players. But again, the front office, if we keep having turnovers at coordinator, doesn't it? I think they learned their lesson. Make sure that you have the coordinator that can currently coach the style of play that your players are good at. That takes a lot of that. Well, you need to adapt. That's a big thing for a coach that's been doing this for a long time.
Well, one of the things that I would think about, Bryan, there, you mentioned Zimmer. I think when you hire an experienced and a really good defensive coordinator, I think there is an expectation that guy can adapt to the players that they have. Because if you look at Zimmer last year, it didn't start off rosy.
No, he said he wished he would have done his own way. He said, he goes, I wish I would have done what I wanted to do earlier instead of try and play to the strengths of what.
I got it. But I guess my point, though, is with an experienced defensive coordinator, whatever you start off doing, I think there's an expectation that you have the ability to be able to adapt as the season wears on to whatever you need to do, whether that is do more of this, more of that, more of that. Like your experience, you're good at it, figure it out. That's where, again, I get back to that's where I would challenge. If I'm the head coach, I would challenge Eberflus at this point to say, it's not working. What you're saying, what you're wanting them to do is not working. Now it's time for you to figure out how to adapt. And I think that's the difference between hiring a guy who's had success in the NFL as a defensive coordinator and has been a good defensive coordinator and a guy that's a first-time defensive coordinator. You may not have that faith in them to be able to adapt. I would suggest you should be able to have that kind of faith in an experienced, high-quality defensive coordinator, and that's where I would challenge him to do that.
Well, also, when you talk about the players, and I know a lot of people want to discuss, you don't have the talent. You don't have the talent on the field. And to that, I would say there are players that are talented, and we've mentioned it here before. We've seen them play at a higher level. But at the same time, I find it very hard to believe that even with backup players, that they're unable to play at a certain level. I mean, there's a reason why you're in the NFL. Backup or not backup, you're in here because you're trusted to have the abilities or capabilities for you to be able to do something at least. I'm not saying be groundbreaking and start, getting interceptions every time, turnovers and all that, but at least to be able to cover a guy, be close enough, know where to go, know what's happening. The amount of times we've seen games and that someone is completely open. It's like, what in the world? Like, what is happening? What is happening? So I think there's something to be said with the lack of communication and people knowing exactly where they should be and who's doing what job and all that. So all of that, to me personally, comes down to the leader in that room.
All right. We appreciate you guys joining us.
We
We'll
ain't
be
got
back
one
tomorrow.
more call, man?
We don't. That was only 2 we had.
Oh, well,
for now. I'm sure if we stayed on the line, we might get some more.
Build you up.
That's it. That's a wrap. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll jump into the Cardinals and get on their offense versus the Dallas defense. Till then, for Voch, Lombardi, Bryan, Broaddus, and Ambar Garcia, I'm Derek Eagleton. This has been The Break, live on DallasCowboys.com.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!